Bradley. I am the Director of Training and Chief Evangelist here at Helium 10. And I've only been selling on Amazon since I started working here at Helium 10, but I've been a consultant for Amazon sellers since like 2017. And I've launched over 400 products myself on Amazon, both my own products and for consultants.
I had no idea you had up to 400 products, which is so amazing because it shows the endless opportunity that is available for anyone who gets into e-commerce. And so today we're talking everything product research, and starting the field of e-commerce all starts with finding a product to sell. So can you kind of explain the importance of product research and why it's important for e-commerce sellers?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's whether you're a new seller or you've already been selling, it all starts with product research. You can't sell on Amazon without doing the proper research, and you can't just pick a product off the top of your head and sell it and be successful. You got to have the data that backs it up. And so, of course, it's a no-brainer that's the first thing you need to do. But then even if you're already an existing seller on Amazon, you don't want to just sell one, unless, if you're selling $1 million on one product a month, okay, maybe you're good to just kick back. But for most of us, we want to keep building on a brand or create other brands. So this same exact process that a brand new seller would do for product research, existing sellers also has to go through this.
And we know we need to do product research for Amazon sellers, but can this maybe apply to Walmart sellers or Shopify, Etsy, and any other platforms?
Yeah, so I think Amazon is the best place to start. The second place, might be Walmart. I've heard of some, I know of some, big sellers on Walmart who actually, and they sell on Amazon, who actually start on Walmart first on some products. Like there's some products that are only good for Walmart or better on Walmart. There's other websites that, like Wayfair, where maybe furniture might be better on there. But like 98% of the time, you're best to start on Amazon and then expand to the others. Like if you've got a product that could be handmade, even if it's made in China, it's still, if it's made by hand, it technically apply or can be sold on Etsy, for example. So yes, launch on Amazon, but then, do the product research and see if it's viable on Etsy. Go ahead and launch on Etsy. Go ahead and launch on Walmart, since you've already got the inventory here in the United States.
So for the product research criteria, we're typically looking for products to start an e-commerce business or start selling on Amazon that typically have higher demand and low competition. And whenever you're using Helium 10's black box or you're using Chrome extension, what criteria should they be looking for in order to maybe find products with higher demand and low competition?
That's another beauty. There's like 75,000 ways. I mean, you can just do that,
Right.
which is why, guys, whenever you hear other people say, oh, it's too late to sell on Amazon or everything's saturated. No, slap them in the face. I mean, not physically, but metaphorically speaking, because it's completely untrue. So what you just mentioned, that's the crux of product research is high demand, low competition. So one of the ways I like to do that with black box, using the different filters, I can use black box for products and say, hey, show me black box, a product in this category that has, a sales of at least $8,000, but less than 50 reviews and maybe only a 3.7 star rating. You might think, well, that probably doesn't even exist. Like, why would anybody be buying a product, up to $8,000 a month worth of it if it's got 3.7? Well, the reason might be because everybody else only has 3.7 stars. And so if you can come in with a 5-star product, you're instantly going to be better. So that's one way that you can do it. I like looking at black box for keywords, and it might sound counterintuitive to search for products by searching for keywords. But at the end of the day, when you're searching for products, the sales are generated from keywords. So I like to actually do my product research by looking for keywords. And so I can tell Helium 10, hey, show me a product or a keyword, that has at least X amount of search volume. And there's no magic number, by the way, guys. Let's just say 4,000 search volume. But within the top 10 products, at least 5 of them only have less than 75 reviews. But at the same time, at least 5 out of those top 10 at least have $5,000 worth of sales. Like, you can get down to that level of granularity within Helium 10 black box. And then the one that's really unique to Helium 10 is in black box for keywords and other tools, is being able to see what's called a title density. This is a made up word by Helium 10. But what it refers to is how many listings on page 1 have, for example, a searched the search term in phrase form in it. For example, if you were to search collagen peptides, and the title density would probably be 40. And that means when you see that number 40 out of the 50 listings, let's just say there's 50 on there of page 1, have collagen peptides in phrase form in the title. That doesn't mean it's impossible to rank for. It's just, you just know it's going to be hard. The golden nugget is if you can find a keyword that's highly searched, like, 5,000, 10,000 times, and it has a title density number of like 2 or 3, those are so easy to get on page 1. And remember that title density means that, let's just say it's, I don't know, I'm looking at my desk here, like black headphones with laser pointer, some weird thing like that, right? Like that probably has a very low title density. But if, for example, I made a product that was that, and that means that if I have that in my title and that has a title density of like 1, meaning that only one other listing in page 1 has it, it could be from day 1 of when I launch that product, I could be already on page 1 without even anything. Or at the very least, it's going to be super easy for me to get to page 1 once I get, some order velocity. So that's another great indication of opportunities when you see that low title density number.
So I love that. So with high demand, we're looking at high search volume keywords. What's something else we can look for high demand products? For example, bestseller rank or sales per month. What do you recommend after looking at keyword search volume?
I like to look at the history of it. All right. Because, like we're recording this in November, December, right now, let's just say we're not recording this before Thanksgiving, but let's just say we were, like we could be looking at a keyword, and we're not dummies. Like obviously the ones that have Thanksgiving in it, we realize those are seasonal, but let's just say there's something that maybe, like me, I don't even celebrate Thanksgiving. So like, I don't know all the ins and outs of Thanksgiving. So maybe there's a keyword that I don't realize is related to Thanksgiving, and I just see it and I'm like, oh my goodness, look at this search volume. This is like super amazing. Or look at these sales, right? Because I'm, when Helium 10 is showing you data, it's showing you kind of like what's going on right now. That's the first thing you see. But I always recommend, hey, click the graphs. If you ever see a graph in Helium 10, whether you're in the Chrome extension, or whether you're in Cerebro, or whether you're in Black Box, there's always a little graph next to sales and next to search volume. Always click that and expand it out here, because what's going to happen is you might see peaks and valleys. Something like, egg tray, maybe in Easter time, there's like a little bit of an extra bump, but usually egg trays people want throughout the year. So you're not going to see many peaks and valleys. But then, something like, Christmas tree or stocking stuffers or something, you're going to see huge numbers in December, but the rest of the year is not. So whenever you guys are doing product research, always look back in history at the sales and or search volume to see the seasonality of that product.
Awesome. And then Trendster would be a good tool to utilize for that as well, right?
Yes, because Amazon is one thing, which is what Helium 10 has, but in Trendster, you could look at the Google trends now too. And actually something new-ish, maybe you didn't even know about that. I totally forgot about it until right now, is when you hit the graph inside of Helium 10 for a search volume, it'll actually show the Trendster graph as well for Google searches, Google Analytics. It comes from Google Analytics. It has nothing to do with Amazon. So you can actually see 3 graphs when you hit search volume. You'll see the Google Analytics from Trendster, you'll see the Amazon search volume history, and then you'll also see the Walmart.com search volume history.
Awesome. So it's like basically comprehensive, everything you need to know to make sure it's not just a temporary trending product, which can be so useful for any Amazon seller. And then so kind of backtracking, we talked on high demand, so keyword search volume, maybe sales per month, maybe looking at the trends, maybe looking at their bestseller ranks. So now let's kind of switch gears to lower competition. What should we be looking for to find products with lower competition?
Well, for lower competition, the number one thing, and I don't see this ever changing. There's a lot of things that change on Amazon, but this probably never will change. But one of the top things is the number of reviews, because I tell everybody, always think like a buyer, and not like a seller. And we all buy things, 99% of us probably buy things on Amazon. The rest of us, maybe eBay we're using or Wayfair or Walmart or other things. But at the end of the day, if we're confronted with, in our search results as a buyer, with like 4 products, and then like, they all look kind of the same, similar price, similar function, Maybe we don't know the brand name of any of them. It's not like Nike versus no name shoes, but they're all just like generic brands. So if they're 3 out of the 4 have like, 5,000 reviews, and then that fourth has maybe 3, like there's not one of us out there who's going to buy that one with 3. It just won't happen. And if you say, guys, you would do it, you're lying. All right. None of us would do that unless, like maybe the price is way lower or whatever. But I'm just saying, if all things are equal, human nature is, hey, let's go with the one that has more social proof, gives us more confidence. And so if we want to find niches where there's not as much competition or they're not as well established, for example, outside of what I already talked about, then just looking at the number of reviews and who's on the top of page 1 is a great indicator that, if everybody's got like, or at least half the people have like, 10, 20, 30, 40 reviews, they're brand new, they're not established competition. So maybe they're there, maybe there's 30 sellers of this product, but if they all have like low reviews, it means the niche is kind of, is kind of new, and there's low competition. The other thing could be just the star rating. I mentioned this before, but if everybody's got like less than 4 stars, that's, they could be making tons of sales, but we could come instantly and perhaps be more ideal for the customer because they see that, hopefully we get a couple 5-star reviews, early on, and they would pick ours. And then, other things that you could look at where even if something looks completely saturated, like tons of reviews, tons of sellers, it looks like there's no room, but maybe you have a unique value add. Maybe you've seen the reviews of the existing competition. Everybody complains about something like, man, I'm buying this, but it's a 2-pack, but I really need a 3-pack. I've seen people have success. I just interviewed somebody on the Serious Sellers podcast last weekend where his very first product he ever made on Amazon, he started doing 30 a day. And he did things that the way that normally they'd say not to. Like everybody had like thousands of reviews. And so like you would normally say, oh, don't try and sell there. But he noticed that people were like all wanted like a 5-pack instead of a 3, and all the competitors had 3. So he came in with a 5-pack, even though he had 0 reviews. Day 1 and on, he's been selling 30 to 50 units a day because he was the only one that had this particular, pack size that people wanted.
And then just talking about reviews, it's super important to add value and differentiate to really become one of the top 3 sellers for a product. So what tools can we use for Helium 10 to maybe do this competitive research?
Yeah, so the tools I would suggest using, and there's many. I mean, let's just say you're on Amazon as is. Matter of fact, I want to show you guys this new-ish tool that's really good, that a lot of people don't really know about yet. But it's called the Xray keywords. It's actually, I'm just going to go down a rabbit trail here. I literally do not know what I'm going to find here. By the way, I just discovered, here's something right here. Because of my slow typing skills, it allowed the auto expander to come out here. This is part of the Chrome extension. This in itself is an interesting thing to do. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to go with this. I wasn't even planning to do this, but let's just go with this. Here we go. I actually am thinking of doing this product. I happen to see this before, but I just type in coffin and I see coffin Zen garden, right? So let me just click on this coffin Zen garden. This is like a really interesting thing. And right off the bat, guys, just looking here, this is what I like to see. Here is a keyword that is searched for. Probably this is not a great example because it's only 700 search volume. But if you find something that's 2,000 search volume or more, and if you're looking at the very top row and you only see one product that really matches the keyword, this is like, oh my goodness, this is like so incredible because this is very rare. The fact that you see random nonsense here, like what the heck is this?
Right.
Demonic looking cat here, right? The keyword is coffin Zen garden. There is one coffin Zen garden here, just one. And it's fulfilled by merchant, not even FBA. And they're charging for shipping. Like this is a idiotic customer or a seller right here, but you just love to see that. But
yeah,
if I click on it, that just boggles my mind. I don't know how in the world this person is doing this, but and ships within 2 to 3 weeks. Like, come on, give me a break. Like,
we are all into Amazon Prime.
So this seller probably has no idea what we're doing. So I'm not going to run Xray keywords on this because it's like this is such a new niche that there's probably nothing here. But let me just go to a regular Zen garden and let me just show you guys what I was going to talk about. This is my ADHD. Like I completely went off on a tangent. So here's Zen garden. This is normally what keyword results look like. You type in a keyword and like, hey, all the results are that. All right. So I might look at this and be like, you know what? This might be a little bit saturated. You know, actually maybe not. You know, here's only 50 reviews right up here. But anyways, if I'm just curious, like I know I would type in Zen garden to find this, but maybe other people are typing in different things. I would hit the Xray keywords. And then what this is doing is it's going to show me other kind of niches or other keywords that are showing up here. And sure enough, there are some keywords here that have a lot of search volume. You know, Zen garden probably in this case is the best keyword. It has 20,000. But look at this, Japanese decor. All right. You know, maybe there's some people who don't even realize Zen gardens come from, you know, Japan. Desktop decor, meditation gifts. Like what? Like that, I didn't realize that was a relevant keyword. Sand tray therapy kit. Like what in the world? Maybe matter of fact, let's take a look at this. All right. Very similar products, right? But here is a keyword that is not necessarily tied to Zen gardens. And so like here's a kit with, I mean, almost looks like a litter box for a cat, but you know, don't keep this out. Like I have cats. I could never buy this product because they would do other stuff in here. But I just discovered a keyword that I didn't know existed because I just ran Xray keywords on just something I was looking at. And then I found all these other kind of niches. And that's the fun part about product research is don't be narrow-minded and go in there like with the end in mind. Just be completely open-minded and start going down rabbit trails and you'll end up with a lot of interesting things.
Right. So for everyone watching this, you definitely want to type in different search volume keywords that are related to similar products. So you can pull up Xray and then kind of see the different products that are ranking for those different keywords. Thank you so much, Bradley. Do you have any final tips to leave our audience with in terms of product research and just success with selling on Amazon?
Just one thing is that almost nobody teaches when it comes to product research, or maybe you already chose a product, is really take a look at the frequently bought together because you can come up with bundling ideas. So like, again, there's many different ways. If you get stuck, like, and you think that this is too saturated, like never just give up just based on the review numbers or just based on this other data that we say. Like, for example, the egg tray, it looks saturated, but if the egg tray keyword was all plastic, when you looked at it, it was all plastic egg trays. But then we're like, what if it was wooden? You know, is there demand for a wooden one? And so it didn't matter that we had 0 reviews. We still crushed that keyword because we were the only wooden one and people wanted wooden ones. So material is one thing you can do. Maybe people are looking for bamboo or aluminum or whatever. Another thing is the pack size, like we mentioned. And the last thing would be bundling products. Like maybe with this Zen coffin tray or Zen, what was the keyword? Zen or
coffin, Zen garden.
Coffin, sand garden, whatever, right? Maybe we saw in the frequently bought together, people are buying, you know, like some kind of, like, I don't know, like a graveyard tombstone, like toy graveyard tombstones or something like that. Well, if we see in Amazon or in Helium 10, by the way, you guys can use black box product targeting tab and see the history of frequently bought together for any product on Amazon. But if we were looking at that and we saw that, hey, maybe people are buying this two together, hey, maybe you can combine these two things. And now you have a new product that nobody has of things that these people are already wanting to buy anyway. So it's never ending the amount of product research you guys can do.